Hey, I got a question here from one of our community members here on YouTube. It says, bro, this is coming from Insight-Music. So thanks so much for the question. It says, bro, I've been practicing SR, so I've been practicing semen retention for the last 7 years. Congratulations, brother. Appreciate that. But recently got into a relationship and I found that it's difficult to go on extended streaks now. Do you think it's possible to still get the full benefits of semen retention while in a relationship? What a fantastic question. I'm so appreciative of that question, and I'm gonna answer it in this video. Let's get into it. Hi, my name is Nakula and I help men master their S3X energy so you can become a powerhouse both in and outside the bedroom and ultimately unleash all your God-given talents and abilities. Go to the links in the description below so that you can take advantage of the free resources, the free transmutation guide, which is a full video program teaching about the relationship between your S3X energy and your ability to create impact and influence, to have magnetism. There's a full alchemy routine that you can use and apply right away so you can get full benefits of this practice. Now the question is, I recently got into a relationship, I'm practicing SR, but now I find it hard to go on long streaks. Is it possible for a man in a relationship to still get the full benefits? The answer is yes. And here's how. It's exactly what I teach because it's exactly what I was looking for. I'm not a monk, I'm in a relationship, and because of that, I have S3X, all right? Now, because of that, makes it more difficult to practice. But that's where the practices of alchemy come into play. This is not a new question in the world, meaning there were men thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago who had this exact same question, because high-level spiritual practitioners would practice celibacy. They would practice being a monk. They would completely cut that off so that they can completely focus on spiritual realization and ultimately their relationship with God. But for men in relationships, men in marriages, they felt almost cut off from that. Like, great, am I not going to be able to do that? And that's how I felt when I first learned about brahmachari, about spiritual practitioners at really high levels. I thought, well, I'm in a relationship. I have no interest of not being in my relationship. So how is that going to work? And that's where I realized that this is an age-old question for spiritual practitioners. And monks, sages, yogis, mystics, they came up with solutions. They came up with what's known as sexual alchemy, and that's what I teach, which is a series of meditations, breathwork techniques, and muscle control that allow you to still engage in intimacy, and not only engage in intimacy with your partner in your relationship, but actually cultivate and harness that energy for spiritual realization. It allows you to go on massive long streaks, have complete control over your ejaculation. So through these practices, you can learn to have non-ejaculatory S3X. You can learn to have non-ejaculatory or energy orgasms, which are blissful, satisfy that energy, and allow you to retain. Gives you complete control in the bedroom so you can show up as a better lover and partner for your relationship, as well as use and harness that energy outside the bedroom. Now, I'll even challenge and argue that a man that can practice semen retention in a relationship is not a normal man. In fact, there's a spiritual teacher, Srila Prabhupada, who actually said a man in marriage who practices celibacy or chastity is not a normal man, that he is actually way elevated in his progress because he has it available. So unlike a monk who just like cuts off that temptation, they live amongst other monks, they live in the temple, they don't interact, necessarily in any kind of scenario that would rise that energy. Me and you, we're in a situation where that energy can be aroused quite easily. We have access to S3X quite easily. And because of that, we have to practice even greater control. So your opportunity to grow in discipline and strength and power and focus and subtle ability and mental magnetism is even greater than that of a monk because you have access to it. And if you can learn these practices of alchemy where you control that energy, control your ejaculation, learn to harness that energy, draw it up and circulate it around the body, experience energy orgasms, and ultimately take all of that energy that you're cultivating through non-ejaculatory S3X and pour that into your life's work, pour that into your health, your wealth, and your spiritual growth, you're gonna have tremendous amounts of power. Now, if you wanna learn more about doing that, make sure you go take the free transmutation guide. Also, book some time with me. Would love to connect with you and share with you how that works. It was a game changer for me because I thought, how am I gonna practice semen retention while still fulfilling all my husbandly duties? And guess what? It's not a new question. It's an old question. It's been answered. I have the answers. I learned it from my teachers, and I'd be happy to teach it to you as well. Make sure you go book some time with me. Thanks so much for the question. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you never miss a video. I'll see you on the next video. Much love.